Hello guys, it's Mr. Programmer here. So I got a comment, what if we have multiple sliding panels? So in this video we are going to deal with that. So I created a project called multi-S panel and this is my default form. So we are going to add a class by pressing Ctrl Shift A to add a class. Now let's choose the class and rename this class as multiple sliding panel and add. Let's create some variables. One is the panel, so before adding the panel we are going to add the namespace for that, system.windows.forms. and now let's get back to the class and add a panel span and a button and a boolean whether the panel is horizontal or not, and a boolean whether the panel is hidden or not, and a string for the hidden text and a string for not hidden, a integer size. Let's create a constructor to initialize all the variables. Public multiple sliding panel, and let's take a reference of the panel and the reference of the button and a boolean horizontal or not, and string for the hidden text and a string for the showing text or not hidden text. So let's say this dot span is equal to p and this dot button is equal to b, this dot horizontal is equal to hor, and the hidden to false, and the s text or this dot h text equal to h text, this dot s text equal to s text. And let's create one more variable for the timer t. Let's initialize the timer. T is equal to new timer. T dot interval is equal to 100 milliseconds, and before initializing the timer we are going to create an event for the button click. So button click is plus equal to new event handler, and inside this we are going to say button underscore click, and let's press Ctrl dot to create the method for the button click. And similarly for the timer tick we are going to say tick is equal to plus equal to create a new event handler t tick. And let's create this method by pressing Ctrl dot and generate method. And let's create a function called void change size, and let's pass a integer value, and if the panel is horizontal then we are going to say do this, else do this. Now inside this we know that if the panel is horizontal we are going to change the height of the panel. So the span dot height plus equal to the value, and we are going to check if the span dot height is greater than equal to the size. Okay, we have to initialize the size also. So we are going to say If it is horizontal, then the size is equal to the panel dot width, panel dot height, and else size equal to the panel dot width, and if the span dot height or the span dot height is less than equal to the 0, we are going to say we are going to say t dot stop, and hidden is equal to not hidden, which means if the hidden is true, then the hidden will become false, and vice versa. So similarly, we are going to say span dot width. If it is not horizontal, then we are going to change the size width of the panel by adding the value, and if the span dot height is less than greater than equal to it's the width, because we are doing with the dealing with the vertical panel. So if it is vertical, we are going to say span dot width is greater than equal to the size, or the span dot width is less than equal to 0, we are going to say t dot stop, and hidden is equal to not hidden. So we have created a function. Let's close this function and get back to the button click event and timer dot start. We are going to start the timer, and before starting the timer, we are going to change the button text. If it is hidden, then the text should be b dot it's the button dot text is equal to s text, so text, and else button dot text equal to h text, if I am correct. Now let's go back to the timer tick event. We are going to say if it is hidden, then we are going to say change size by +20 or +10, else change size by -20. Let's get back to our form CS design, and let's add some panels. Toolbox panel, and this is a padding for the button, or box for the button. Let's change the background color for this panel as blue, and let's create one more panel and change the dock to the bottom again, and change the background color and name also. Let's choose this, and let's change the panel name as sliding 1. Okay, we should not use the space in between the name. Now let's go back to the toolbox and add anything we want. Let's choose a checkbox or a combo box, anything. And similarly, we are going to create a vertical panel, so add a panel for the button, and change the dock to right, and the background color to blue again, and let's add one more panel, change the background color to orange or whatever you desire, change the dock to right, and add whatever you want. Let's add the checkbox, and now we are going to add two buttons, button 1 right here and a button 2 right here. So let's change the size of this panel, and we are going to change the size for this button, Yeah, and change the location for this button. Now let's go to the code for the form, and now let's create two object as multiple sliding panel, O1 as object 1 and O2 as object 2, and let's initialize them. O1 is equal to new multiple sliding panel, the reference of the panel, so we are going to take a reference sliding 1 comma reference of the button 1, and yes, it is horizontal. As we know, this panel is horizontal, so we are going to say true, and the hidden text would be hide, and the not hidden text or the shown text would be show. And similarly we are going to initialize the object 2, which is equal to new multi-sliding panel reference. Okay, we have to rename this panel, I forgot this, sliding 2. Save this and come back to the form1 cs, reference sliding 2, reference of the button 2 false, comma the hidden text would be after every character we are going to place a new line. Similarly for the show, let's copy this and add a new line after every character. Save this and let's run this program. As we can see, if we press the button 1, okay, we have to change the text and the panel are hiding but the text is opposite, so we are going to go back to the multiple sliding panel class, and on the button 1 click event, if it is not hidden, then button1 dot text is equal to s text. So let's run this program again, and when we click this button the panel is hidden, and if we click show the text is hide. Similarly for this one, okay, we won't, if you see correctly, we can't differentiate between these two panels, so we are going to change the border style of this panel, these two panels, by selecting both of them and going to the border style as fixed 3D, and let's run this program again. So as you can see, when we press this button and this button, so both of the panel is working. That's all in this video. We will meet soon in the next.